Good morning, legendary students. This is KRISHNA, HOD of Zoology in Vasavi Degree College and the State Time faculty also. Okay, and business entrepreneur also. Today, we are going to discussing about a new topic. Already yesterday we discussed it. Okay, respiration is completed, respiratory tract is completed, respiratory mechanism is completed. Now, today we are discussing about respiratory pigments. Yesterday we already discussed infection. Okay, so that is what ma respiratory pigments. Respiratory pigments. Okay, respiratory pigments. Respiratory pigments. Okay, so what is respiratory pigments? Already told you. Come on, tell me, Usra. What is respiratory pigments?
The respiratory pigments refer to transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide is called respiratory pigments. It
Okay.
is transports from lungs to tissues and tissues to lungs. And one more thing, pigments means pigments gives color to the blood. That's why it is called respiratory pigments.
Wow, nice, super, super. Thank you very much. Okay, so respiratory pigments. So today we are discussing about the new topic that is respiratory pigments. What is respiratory pigments? Nothing but which pigments are which are responsible for transport of oxygen, carbon dioxide from lungs to tissue, tissue to lungs. That pigments are called respiratory pigments. So, if these pigments which are present in the body fluid, if the pigments which are present in the plasma, if the pigments which are present in the blood to use a color, which is the color will be. So that is important about respiratory pigments, right? So, what are the respiratory pigments are there? Come on, tell me. What are the respiratory pigments? Okay, already we discussed yesterday. Okay.
Hemoglobin,
Tell me, beta.
first hemoglobin,
Hemoglobin.
second one hemocyanin,
Hemoglobin. Next, beta.
hemocyanin,
Hemocyanin.
third one hemoerythrotin,
Hemoerythrin.
erythrin.
Next.
Fourth one is chlorocrownin.
Chlorochlorine. Chlorochlorine. So those visible diagram visible ma board visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next ma next.
Pinaglobin.
Pinaglobin.
Sixth one is echinochrome.
Who's ma? Who's the sound? Okay. So echinochrome. Next beta.
One is vanadium.
Vanadin. Next.
One is molfadin.
Malfadin. Okay. So these are all the respiratory pigments. Okay. Now I would like to give the further. Let us coming to point. The respiratory pigments. Okay. Hemoglobin. What is my hemoglobin? Hemoglobin. Okay. This hemoglobin. Okay. So this is the number 1 point, the respiratory pigments. Respiratory pigments, hemoglobin. So the respiratory pigments which is present in RBC and the body fluids like plasma. Okay, like plasma, different animals. In different animals. Okay. So respiratory pigments which are present in the RBC, body fluids, plasma, and different animals on the hemoglobin. Okay. Next one, hemoglobin, which is present in the blood, which is present in the blood or plasma. Okay. So very important thing. That blood, that plasma, which color ma? Red color. Which gives color ma? Red color. Red color. Okay, na? It's very, very important. The hemoglobin which is present in the blood gives a color. Which color ma? Red color. Okay, very important. Next, which animals which contains hemoglobin? Very important. Which type of animals which contains red blood? Okay, number one, all vertebrates. What ma? All vertebrates. Number one, all vertebrates. All vertebrates which contains red colored blood. That means hemoglobin. All vertebrates which what are the vertebrates ma? So number one, fishes. Okay. Next, what we done? Amphibians. Okay. Next, reptiles. Next, what ma? Apes and mammals. Okay, mammals, right? So these are all the animals which very important thing. Okay, all vertebrates which contains red color blood, that means hemoglobin pigment. Right. Okay, now. So this fish examples vertebrates, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, apes, and mammals. Next one. Okay, few of the platyhelminthes and nemathelminthes also. Platyhelminthes, nemathelminthes, few of the platyhelminthes, nemathelminthes animals also which contains hemoglobin. Next, purely annelida. Which example na? Annelida. It is visible, Bushra. Bushra, Radhika, visible? Okay. Annelida. Annelida is visible? Annelida. Okay. So these annelidans example. Okay. What are the examples is that here? Okay. Right? The example is earthworm. Example is what ma? Earthworm. Okay. This earthworm which contains what ma? Which blood? Red color blood. Because of it contains hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, very, very important. The earthworm, only the examples, earthworm, red color, what happened ma? Hemoglobin, which is there. So here very, 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 very important, what is the important note here? What are the note of an earthworm? Earthworm, remembering one thing. But in earthworm, RBC cells are absent. In earthworm, what ma? RBC cells are absent. Okay, in earthworm, RBC cells are absent. Right? So, but come on, tell me in area. So, if the RBC cells are absent, okay, but where is present of hemoglobin? Any idea? Any idea? Any person? Vikas, Sushmita, Samyukta, Pavitra, Rajendra, Sangeeta. Okay. Adiba. Any idea? So actually, hemoglobin is present in RBC, of course, but so RBC is not there in the earthworm. Okay, but the hemoglobin is present in where? So RBC is absent.
In blood.
Okay, of course, blood is red color, ma, but RBC is not there, na. But it is present in where? Of course, blood. So here it is present in plasma. Okay, hemoglobin, very, very important. So many times asked question in NEET level, PG entrance level, group 1 level, group 2 level, any other competitive level, will ask this question. Okay, the earthworm RBC cells are absent. Earthworm RBC cells are absent, you know very well. But This hemoglobin is present. Where is present? Come on, tell me. Just now, the hemoglobin present in where, beta? Plasma. Okay, hemoglobin present in plasma. That's why earthworm blood is red in color. Earthworm blood is red in color because of very big. Okay, so that is a important one of the case, right? So next one. Okay, these are the few of the examples. At least you must give few of the examples, 2-3 examples in hemoglobin. Clear? Now coming to the point. So hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin molecular weight of hemoglobin, that is 60,000 Daltons. What is the molecular weight of hemoglobin? The hemoglobin molecular weight is 60,000 Daltons. How many Daltons? 60,000 Daltons are there in hemoglobin. Next one, hemoglobin, very important, which contains globin protein. Hemoglobin which contains what? Globin protein. Hemoglobin which contains what? Globin protein. Very important. Okay. And this hemoglobin which contains okay, 4 pyrines. 4 pyrines are there. 4 pyrines. Okay. So hemoglobin which contains proteinous part. Hemoglobin which contains proteinous part, that is globin protein. Okay, that means hemoglobin which contains what happened? So the proteinous part, that is called globin protein. And hemoglobin non-proteinous part, that is called 4 pyrines. 4 pyrines. Okay, so simply what is the important? You know very well. Hemoglobin, the globin is what, what beta? Sushmita. Okay, don't disturb please, because of it will become resound. Okay, because of it will be uploaded in YouTube. Okay, now you must be very disciplined, please. Okay, right. See, once I repeat, hemoglobin which contains proteinous part globin, non-proteinous part, that is 4 pyrines, right? Globin protein which contains 4 polypeptide chains, 4 polypeptide chains, PPC, 4 polypeptide chains, 4 polypeptide chains. That is 2 alpha polypeptide chains, 2 beta polypeptide chains. Okay, how many polypeptide chains? 2 alpha polypeptide chains, 2 beta polypeptide chains are there. That is one of the important things. Clear? Next, each alpha polypeptide chain which contains 141 amino acids. Okay, each alpha polypeptide chain which contains 141 amino acids. Each polypeptide chain which is made up of how many amino acids? 141 amino acids. And okay, so each, that means here 2 so many times asked the question, how many alpha polypeptide amino acids are there? Come on, tell me. Into 2, that means 242. 282 amino acids are present in the 2 alpha polypeptide chains, right? Total. So once I repeat, 1 alpha polypeptide chains contains 1 alpha polypeptide chain made up of 141 amino acids. How many? 141 amino acids are there. Very important. Next, 1 beta polypeptide chain which contains 146 amino acids. How many? 146 amino acids are there. So that is one of the important part. Okay, so into 292 amino acids are there. beta chains which contains what not 292. So many times asked question in NEET level, PG entrance level, and group 1, group 2 level, right? Remembering one. So that is how many globin is a proteinous part. Globin which contains 4 polypeptide chains, that is 2 alpha polypeptide chains and 2 beta polypeptide chains. Each alpha polypeptide chain which contains 141 amino acids. Each what ma beta polypeptide chain which contains 146 amino acids. Right? So this is very good. Now see 4 pyrines are there. 4 pyrines are there, very important thing, right? Very important thing. So here, okay, 4 pyrines are there. So that means you know that 4 pyrines are there. These pyrines which combined with the pyrines which combined with ferrous. The pyrines which combined with ferrous, that is called is known as heme. Is known as what ma? Heme. Heme. Okay. So very important. What is heme? Heme nothing but pyrines plus ferrous. Pyrene plus ferrous is equal to heme. How many hemes are there? How many hemes are there? What come and tell me? Yeah, you know very well. So that is 4 hemes are. For example, I would like to draw the structure. For example, see that is what ma. This is this is one of the pyrene. This is one of the pyrene. This is one of the. This is one of the pyrene. Okay. So these pyrines are which combined with the ferrous. Which combined with the ferrous. Okay. This is a pyrene. This is a pyrene. This is a pyrene. This is a pyrene. Okay now. So, what ma? How many hemes are there? This one is one of the heme. This one is the one of the heme. This one is one of the heme. This one is one. Because of heme nothing but ferrous, pyrene plus ferrous is equal to heme. 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 Okay, this is connected with what ma? Globin protein. What ma? Connected with the globin protein. So totally it is called a hemoglobin. It is called what ma? Hemoglobin. So what is the structure of hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is equal to come on tell me what is the hemoglobin structure? Is equal to what I mean ma? So heme plus okay and globin. Heme plus globin is equal to hemoglobin. So what is heme? What is heme? Heme is equal to okay 4 pyrene. That means pyrene. So which pyrene plus ferrous. How many hemes are there? 4 hemes are there. 4 hemes are there. Heme nothing but pyrene plus ferrous is equal to heme. Okay na? So very important thing. So hemoglobin which contains heme plus globin. So heme contains heme nothing but pyrene plus ferrous. So totally hemoglobin. Right? Very important. I already told you globin which is contains 2 alpha, 2 beta. 2 alpha and 2 beta. One alpha chain which contains how many? One alpha which contains how many amino acids? One alpha which contains how many?
41.
How many beta?
141 amino acids.
Very good, excellent.
141 amino acids, sir.
Okay, very good, excellent. So 141 amino acids, one beta,
146.
very good. 146 amino acids are there. So this is a hemoglobin structure. Right. Now coming to the point. Okay. So coming to the point. See, you know very well. One hemoglobin which carries 4 oxygen molecules. What ma? 4 oxygen molecules to be formed. Okay, now oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin. So for hemoglobin bind with oxygen, how much one? It should be equal to 4 like that. So the hemoglobin carries. So how many actually one hemoglobin carries around 4 oxygen molecules. Okay, to be form of oxyhemoglobin is called what? Oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so very important thing. Hemoglobin bind with oxygen to be form of oxyhemoglobin. So this is very important. So hemoglobin bind with oxygen to form of oxyhemoglobin in the lungs. Okay, in the lungs takes place. Whereas, come on, tell me, in the tissue it is reverse. In the tissue, what ma? It will be take place reverse reaction. What reverse reaction? Come on, tell me. So hemoglobin disassociation takes place. So hemoglobin disassociation takes place in the tissue. What happen, ma? Oxygen enters into cell, and hemoglobin is separated. Okay, na? That's why it is a reaction, irreversible reaction. Hemoglobin bind with oxygen to form of oxyhemoglobin in the lungs. For example, this is a lungs, this is the tissue. Here what happens simply, hemoglobin bind with oxygen, oxyhemoglobin should be formed. This is the lungs. This is the lungs reaction. So to be formed and enters into, this is called blood stream. This is called what ma? Blood stream. So this is enters into tissue. This is called tissue. But in the tissue, after metabolic activity, what happened ma? In the tissue after metabolic, carbon dioxide level is more. That means carbon dioxide increases then compared to blood. This is the tissue. In the tissue, carbon dioxide is more. This tissue required oxygen. Oxygen. So in this, what happened here? So in the cells here in the tissue, oxyhemoglobin is dissociation takes place. That means oxygen plus hemoglobin should be formed. This oxygen enters into carbon dioxide. So in the tissue, in the blood, okay, in the where the tissue, the blood which contains rich amount of oxygen. The oxygen molecules moves from bloodstream to tissue. Ultimately, carbon dioxide moves from tissue to blood. Okay, na? So this is the responsible of hemoglobin. That's why. So this give a reaction I already given. Okay, na? Once I repeat. So you must be understand this reaction. We understood the transport of oxygen. Okay. So in the lungs, what happened now? So the hemoglobin bind with the 4 oxygen molecules in form of simply each hemoglobin to carries how much ma? So very important thing, 4 oxygen molecules in form of oxyhemoglobin and enters into bloodstream to reach into tissue. In the tissue, near of the tissue, the reaction, irreversible reaction takes place. The hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin dissociation takes place. Okay, and to be form of oxygen, to be form of hemoglobin. This oxygen enters into tissue. The tissue utilizes the glucose, utilize the oxygen, and to glucose oxidation to utilize the energy. So that is important about the hemoglobin, which is responsible for transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. That is the importance of hemoglobin. Okay, so very important thing. This is already told you. Okay, for example, hemoglobin saturation point already told you yesterday. Hemoglobin saturation point, very important thing. Okay, so that is what happened now. So 100 mm of Hg, 100 mm of Hg we should be measuring about hemoglobin percentage, okay, and which contains about 95% of PO2. Partial oxygen pressure is there in the blood. The hemoglobin which contains 95% of the PO2, so that is a hemoglobin saturation. If 95% less than 95%, the person is going to danger. Okay, now, so the person required ventilation. But by giving artificially of air from instrument to lungs. Okay, now that is very the lungs unable to breathing process. Lungs should not contain sufficient of oxygen, right? That's why you must be maintained that above 95%. And 95% is sufficient. That is a large suggestion. Amen, Sushmita. Okay, so this is important hemoglobin saturation point. Now, if hemoglobin, see, okay, what is the function of hemoglobin, ma'am? For example, hemoglobin, see, so hemoglobin is hemoglobin measured by Shahli's hemometer. What, ma'am? Shahli's hemometer. Your experiment also there. Shahli's hemometer. So by using of hemoglobin, right? So that is very very important. Shahli's hemometer. Okay. So this is very important thing. So this hemoglobin, which is measured by Shahli's hemometer, and what is the normal value? For example, so in adult, what is the normal values? Okay. So 12 to 14 grams, 12 to 14 grams, so of for dl of hemoglobin, that is normal value. That is a normal value in what in males. So and 11 to that means what 11 to 30 grams per dl. 11 to 30 grams per dl, that is in female, that is normal value. In children, what happened now? 14 to 19 grams per dl. 14 to 19 grams per dl. 14 to 19 grams of for dl, that is in children. In children, this is the normal values of hemoglobin. Normal values of hemoglobin. If hemoglobin is percentage and grams should be, remembering one thing, 14.5 grams per dl of hemoglobin is equal to 100%. 14.5 grams of 14.5 grams per dl of hemoglobin is equal to 100% of hemoglobin percentage. So that is very very important. Okay, now so this is a clear of hemoglobin. Now, so I would like to explain. Okay, right? See, hemocyanin. What ma? Hemocyanin. So this hemocyanin, okay, is a respiratory pigment. Hemocyanin is a respiratory pigment. Okay, it is also which contains proteinous plot, protein plot, and cyanin plot is there. Okay, this hemocyanin, very very important thing. So hemocyanin, which contains protein, that is proteinous plot, C, 4 pyrin also there. These also how many 4 pyrines are there. 4 pyrines are there. Plus here copper is present. Heme nothing but what happened? 4 pyrines plus copper is equal to heme. Heme plus protein is called hemo, that means hemocyanin. Right? Very very important thing in this hemocyanin. Now let us come into the point. This hemocyanin present in the body fluids and blood. Hemocyanin present in the body fluids and the blood and plasma. Okay, that blood is which color? Blue color. Which color? Blue color. Very very important. Blue color. Okay. Next, molecular weight is different in different animals. Molecular weight in different animals. Okay, so that is okay. Number 1, helix. Okay, helix nothing but it is a molluscan animal. Helix nothing but it is molluscan animal. which contains 66 lakhs 50,000. Okay, 66 lakhs 50,000 Daltons. 66 lakhs 50,000 Daltons helix hemocyanin molecular weight. In this hemocyanin molecular weight is different in different animals, right? So helix is a molluscan animal which contains molecular weight how many Daltons? How many Daltons? Okay, that is 66 lakhs 50,000 Daltons are there. Whereas this is a molluscan animal. This is a molluscan animal. Whereas remembering one thing, okay, and arthropoda animal, that is called Palnares. Palnares but crab. Okay, this Palnares which contains 4,47,000. 4,47,000 Daltons, very important. Arthropods, what ma? Small Naras, 4,47,000 Daltons are there. So that is important about arthropod exam. Remaining examples, helix is nothing but it is a phyla. It's nothing but it is a phyla. Remembering one thing. Palnaras nothing but it is a crab. Simply in entrance level, crab and phyla which contains which blood ma? Blue color blood. Which blood? Blue color blood. Very important. Okay, so that is one of the important about hemocyanin. What is the function of hemocyanin? What is the function of hemocyanin? Come on, tell me. Hemocyanin transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide from respiratory organ to tissue to respiratory organs. Okay, so this is a hemocyanin. Once I repeat, hemocyanin respiratory pigment. Okay, this hemocyanin which is present in the body fluids, the blood, plasma. Hemocyanin which contains protein and cyanin point. Hemocyanin which contains protein and cyanin point is there. Protein is the proteinous part. This hemocyanin which contains 4 pyrines plus copper element is there. So if copper is present, the hemocyanin is present in the blood and plasma. The blood is which in color ma? Look like that is blue in color. That is what ma? Blue in color. That is very important. So the hemocyanin molecular weight different in different animals. Like helix of molluscan animal which contains what ma? 66 lakhs 50,000 Daltons are there. Whereas in crab, that is Palnares arthropodon which contains what ma? 4,47,000 Daltons are there. And what is the importance of that is hemocyanin? Come on, tell me. The hemocyanin importance is what happened ma? So that is, remembering one thing, the hemocyanin important which contains transport of which is function is transport of oxygen, carbon dioxide from transport of oxygen from respiratory organ to tissue, from tissue to organ, that is carbon dioxide, which is responsible for the hemocyanin. So this is a very important thing. Okay. Now next, what ma? Hemoerythrin. What ma? Hemoerythrin. Hemoerythrin is there. Okay, this hemoerythrin, which color blood? It is a brown reddish color blood. Which color blood ma? Brown reddish color blood is there. Brown reddish color. So this hemoerythrin, it is also which contains proteinous part and iron is there. Proteinous part and iron. That means which contains ferrous. Which contains protein and ferrous is there. So hemoerythrin molecular weight. Hemoerythrin molecular weight, that is okay. Hemoerythrin molecular weight, that is very important. That is 60,000 Dalton to 120,000 Daltons. 120,000 Daltons. Okay, this is important. Okay, 60,000 to 120,000 Daltons. And so examples of hemoerythrin. What are the examples? So the examples of what happened in this hemoerythrin. Okay, that means siphon culidis. Cunidas. Periapulidis. Periapulida. Periapulida. Siphonculida, Periapulida. So that means brachiopoda also. Brachiopoda. These are all the animals which contains what? Siphonculida animals, Periapulida animals, and the brachiopoda animals which contains hemoerythrin. Hemoerythrin. These hemoerythrin which contains element that is iron. So these hemoerythrin which is present in the blood is which color? Brown reddish color. Brown reddish color. Okay, what is the importance of hemoerythrin function? That is to transfer of oxygen carbon dioxide from respiratory organ to tissue, tissue to respiratory organs. Respiratory organ to tissue, tissue to respiratory organs. That is important about the hemoerythrin. Next one, what ma? Chlorochlorine. So what ma? Chlorochlorine. Chlorochlorine is a respiratory pigment. Chlorochlorine is a respiratory pigment. Chlorochlorine is a respiratory pigment. So if the chlorochlorine is present in the blood, okay, that blood is what ma? Green in color. The blood is what ma? Green in color. Which color ma? Green in color. Remember, green in color. Next one. So if these chlorochlorine which contains which element, that is called ferrous or iron, that is a chlorochlorine. Okay, examples: chlorochlorine with annelida animals. Few of the annelida animals, so which contains chlorochlorine, green color blood. Now, what is the function? Title, small function transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide from respiratory organ to tissue, tissue to respiratory organs. That is chlorochlorine. Next, what ma? Pinaglobin. What ma? Pinaglobin. Remembering one thing. So these pinaglobin, which is which color? That is a very important thing. Red or brown color. Red or brown color blood is there, especially for pinaglobin. This pinaglobin is a respiratory pigment. Number 2 point. Pinaglobin which contains protein and element also there. What element? The element is called what ma? Already told you. That is
manganese.
That is very good, excellent. Manganese. The manganese present in the pinaglobin. So very important. So these manganese present. That's why it is called red or brown color. Clear? So examples of these examples of pinaglobin, that is okay. Phylum. What ma? Phylum. Very important thing. Okay. So pinaglobin which contains red or brown color. Next, what is the function of this pinaglobin? Same, transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide from respiratory organ to tissue, tissue to respiratory organ. That is pinaglobin. Okay, now let us come into the point. Next, what ma? Echinochrome. Okay, this echinochrome, very important thing. What ma? Echinochrome. This echinochrome, okay, so which contains what ma? Red color blood. Okay, and this echinochrome also which contains which ma? Iron element, that ferrous element. Okay, so this echinochrome which is present in the examples, what ma? Holothuridea of echinodermata. Echinochrome which is present in what ma? Holothuridea. So that is echinodermata. Example, sea cucumber. Holothuridea example what ma? Holothuridea is a class example. Sea cucumber animal which contains what ma? So that is Holothurians, which contains the respiratory pigment echinochrome, is a red color blood, and the iron, which contains okay na. So holothurians, which contains that means which one? Which blood? Red color blood. Okay, echinodermata. Example: C. cucumber. Okay, right. Next one. Next respiratory pigment, that is respiratory pigment, that is vanadin. Vanadin. Okay, so this vanadin, so it is a respiratory pigment. Which color blood? So it is also red color blood. It is also red or brown color blood. Sometimes vanadin also what blood ma? So it is also which contains it is a respiratory pigment which contains red color blood. So which is contains vanadin. Vanadium element is there. Which element ma? Vanadium element is present. So what ma? So these vanadin, so which is present in acidians. What ma? Acidians we already studied. Acidian, that means leadmania. The acidians which contains blood is red or brown color. These acidian blood which contains element, that is vanadin. These acidians blood which contains red blood color. Okay, that is vanadin respiratory pigment. Very important. Very important vanadin. Okay, so that is examples. Acidians. Examples: hadimania. So this acidian is acidaceae is an example of class. The class example hadimania. Okay, this hadimania which contains which takes place in the life cycle already discussed. Retrogressive metamorphosis. Which one? Retrogressive metamorphosis. This is a vanadin. Next one, malfadin. Okay, malfadin. This malfadin, okay, it is also one of the respiratory pigments which contains iron element or ferrous. You can call it ferrous. Okay, which blood ma? Red color blood. Okay, examples what ma? Examples, that is cephalopoda, okay, and few of the echinodermats. Examples: cephalopoda, few of the examples: malfadin, respiratory pigment, iron is present, red color blood, and the example cephalopoda and echinodermata. Examples of the function is transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide from respiratory organ to tissue to respiratory organ. So this is a totally what we are discussed. So totally how many 8 respiratory pigments are there. Number 1, hemoglobin, red color blood, element ferrous. Hemocyanin, number 2, so that is blue color blood. Okay, hemocyanin respiratory pigment, copper element is present. Hemoerythrin, okay, brownish red color blood, okay, which contains iron. Okay, the blood is brown reddish color. Okay, and chlorochlorine green color, iron is present. Pinna-globin red or brown color, so whatever it may be. So example pinna, that means manganese element is present. Okay, and next one, echinochrome, iron is present, red or brown color. Okay, vanadium element present, red color. Malfadin, iron is present, red or, so you know very well. So red color blood is there. Examples. So these are the very important, fantastic question we'll asking. So especially for the short question will come hemocyanin and hemoglobin. What is respiratory pigments? To describe the respiratory pigments. Okay now. So we'll asking. So long question. And entrance level also compulsory asking one question about from respiratory. Okay na? So thank you very much. So I think I hope 1 hour completed class. Okay. So I would like to asking for you. You must be listen YouTube. Okay, those who are missing, you must be share, like it, subscribe it, and you must be click on the bell icon because of we strengthen our channel. Okay, you know very well. So you are the one of the participants for strengthen of our YouTube channel. Ma. So thank you very much. Kindly share your friends, your family members, and okay, to improve our channel nearer to 1,000 subscribers. Please like it, share it, comment it. Thank you very much. This is Krishna, HOD of Zoology, signing out.